Hello everyone, Father Wallace here, another adventure from France. We have our special guest today, Armand from Eternal Heart of Mary. You probably remember him?
Yes, hello everyone. I'm missing the Paris, but for the Wallace came to say hello and we had a good time in Paris. Good trip, good fun, good food, good snails.
Good, I had some snails, some escargot. It was really great. I especially love the onion soup. French onion soup is great. So today we're gonna see the Rue de Bac, that great place where Saint Catherine Laboure saw the Virgin Mary. So here we are. We have to speak a little bit quiet because that's the rule here. We're in the actual convent of the Sisters of Charity, the very place where Saint Catherine Laboure would have walked many, many times. The chapel is just over in that direction, and it's a really holy environment. I love it here. We have some nice plaques which give the life of Saint Catherine Laboure. So she was a very simple soul. She was a peasant girl. She was raised as basically in a farming life in Burgundy. She was born in 1806. This is a portrayal of her because it said that she worked so hard. Her one hobby, her one relaxation every day was to feed pigeons. And they would all flock around her and she would think that was fun for her. That was her only recreation each day when she was growing up. So now, when she was in her early 20s, she entered the convent here. She was actually inspired to enter because of a dream she had in which she saw a priest. She didn't know who the priest was, but a few years later she saw a picture of this priest and she realized, oh, that's St. Vincent de Paul. So that inspired her to become a Sister of Charity because this is the order that he founded, the Sisters of Charity. Now, she said that the greatest day of her life ever was on the eve of the feast of St. Vincent de Paul, 1830. She was a novice here, and she was really excited because it was the eve of his feast day. The Mother Superior gave each of the sisters a piece of his surplice. That's a great relic to have, a piece of St. Vincent's surplice. Now, she was basically in bed, just looking at and marveling at the surplice that she had, a little small piece. And she was so excited that she tore it in half and she swallowed part of it. That's how excited she was, out of devotion to St. Vincent. And also, she knew in her heart that the Virgin Mary would appear to her. She had this feeling, and more than a feeling, a certitude. The Virgin Mary is going to appear to me. So she went to sleep. She woke up at 11:30 p.m. She was woken up by a little boy. And the little boy said, "Come on with me, let's go to the chapel." So she got on her habit and she went to the chapel. She said all the hallways were lit. The chapel was lit like a midnight mass. That's how bright it was in there. And then the boy took her to close to the sanctuary where there was a seat for the director, where the director would give instructions to the novices and the nuns. And then basically the boy said, "Wait here." So she was praying there for a few minutes, and all of a sudden the boy said, "Here is the Blessed Virgin Mary." And then Our Lady appeared, and Our Lady actually sat down on the chair and spoke to St. Catherine Laboure for 2 hours. St. Catherine put her hands on Our Lady's lap. She was the only saint known to have done that. And they had a very intimate conversation for 2 hours, basically speaking about St. Catherine's mission. Our Lady spoke about her great mission and God's will in her life, and basically just encouraged her. Now, that's amazing. When I consider that you could speak to Our Lady for 2 hours, just kneeling at her lap, what a great blessing St. Catherine received. So then that finished. So on November 27th, 1830, a few months after this first vision, then we have the classic miraculous medal apparition. St. Catherine was just praying in the chapel here, and all of a sudden, Our Lady appeared to her. Our Lady appeared with, this is a good image of it, with the globe under her feet and the globe in her hands as well. Our Lady had rings on her fingers, and rays were coming from her fingers. kind of like it portrays right here, the rays coming from her fingers. And Our Lady basically said, pray for France, pray for the world. Catherine, there are many people, many graces that are going to waste because no one is asking for them. And then the vision kind of like morphed a little bit into the classic image that we have on the Miraculous medal. So St. Catherine saw the words around Our Lady which said, "O Mary, conceived without sin, pray for us who have recourse to thee." And Our Lady told her, "Catherine, have a medal struck with this image in it." That was the beginning of the Miraculous medal. So I'm going to try to do these, I'm going to try to name these names. Yes. Tell me if I'm naming them correctly. We're in the subway right now. So we're at Saint Sulpice.
Yes.
We're going to go to Saint Germain des Prés.
No, Saint-Germain-des-Prés.
And Odéon.
Odéon.
Saint Michel.
Yes.
Cité.
Cité.
Châtelet.
Châtelet.
Yes. Les Halles.
Les Halles. Les Halles. Even me, I went to stay.
Etienne Marcel. It's important to know that when Our Lady told St. Catherine to have the Miraculous medal struck, Our Lady said three things. First of all, she said that those who wear the Miraculous medal will obtain great graces. Yep. Second of all, she said it should be worn around the neck. Third of all, Our Lady said, those who wear it with confidence will abound with great graces. Now it's interesting that Our Lady said these three things. Let's go through them really quickly because it's important. So first of all, she said, those who wear this medal will obtain great graces. We've seen this in the history of the Miraculous medal. That's why it's called the Miraculous medal actually. Its original name is actually not the Miraculous medal. Its official name is the Medal of the Immaculate Conception. But because it so quickly caused miracles and conversions and all these things, it's basically called the Miraculous medal. And it's been called so for a long time. How many great graces have come to mankind through this medal? Secondly, Our Lady said that it should be worn around the neck. I think this is an important one too. Sometimes people, maybe they put it in their pockets, on a keychain. I think though that, I'm not saying that's bad, but I think that we should follow what Our Lady said and wear it around our neck. Especially when we give it to people, like if we like give miraculous medals to people, I like to have them on a little string already, so that it makes it easy for the person to put it on. Because if you give it to someone without a string, they might never put a string on it. So I kind of give it to them with a little cheap string and tell them to put it on. And then third, this is the interesting one. Our Lady said that graces will abound for those who wear this medal with confidence. So that means that Our Lady is, oh, that's the Rue de Bac back there. I forgot to mention that. That's the place where it all happened. So Our Lady is making a distinction actually between wearing the medal and attaining great graces that way, and wearing it with confidence and attaining abounding grace. So what does this mean, to wear the medal with confidence? Well, I'm not going to be an authority in interpreting Our Lady's words, but I think that this confidence means two things. I think it means an interior confidence and exterior confidence as well. So by interior confidence, we mean that you put your heart into it. That when you wear this medal, you don't just throw it on as if you would throw on anything else, but you really have a great faith in Our Lady. That's the most important confidence we have. Because remember, it almost always comes from the inside, from the heart. Second of all, we have exterior confidence, and in my interpretation, I think this means that basically that we wear this medal clearly and proudly before mankind. That we wear it outside of our clothes so that everyone can see it. You know, would a husband or wife with a wedding ring just keep it in their pocket? No, they wear it on their finger so everyone can see it. They're proud of it. And so it should be with the Miraculous medal. It should be worn publicly. This shows that we're confident to preach about Our Lady, to bring her into public as well. So here we are, Armand and I, eating McDonald's. McDonald's here is really strange because they have like a plastic fries holder and plastic drink cups. But I think we should all be honest here and admit something. Although we complain about McDonald's all the time, we have to admit that when we go to different countries, we like eating McDonald's because it feels like home.